Hey y'all. So just making a quick video so that you can see what a role will look like in story. So I pulled up on Canvas one of our pages. This is the first actual story event, the first time narrating anything that actually happens and not just setting up the world itself. You can read through this on Canvas on your own. What I'm going to draw your attention to are the bold parts here at the end. Um, there's some instructions here. Go to roles and type in what you'd like to do. And then based on your action, there's three of them, you can uh, make a different role. So I'm going to go to roles real fast, just so you can see what that looks like. If you remember my first video, I kind of walked you through this a little bit. Um, So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm at roles is log into our dice room. I'm going to choose a nickname, just make it something I can recognize, and then type in the name of our dice room, which is World of Rhetoric, fake news. And then you should see the stuff that has already happened. There we go. There's my test from the last video. Okay, so now that I've got that up, on Canvas I have the option of, in this case, following a person and talking about something and making a will roll with a difficulty of 6. Or I can talk to somebody else, make a constitution roll with a difficulty of 4. Okay, so the basic premise here is that I am going to take the characteristic that's labeled here, that would be in all caps, and roll dice equivalent to my level in that attribute. So let's say I want to do this one. I'm going to follow the person talking, and I'm going to follow the person talking about the resistance and do something. So in order to make this as efficient as possible, I'm going to do three things. I am going to figure out what I want to do in response to the situation. So story-wise, I'm going to narrate that. I'm going to say that I'm going to follow this person, call after them, and start talking to them about this quote-unquote resistance. I'm going to remain skeptical until I get a feeling for what this person is talking about. So I'm going to come over here to roles, and I'm going to actually type that briefly. This doesn't have to be poetry. It can be as brief as you want it to be. Okay, so I've typed out a brief comment and I send it, and then I could make this part of this before I sent it, but I did it before realizing. I'm going to see what attribute that takes. So a will roll with a difficulty of 6. What this means is that the difficulty, we'll work backwards here. The difficulty here means that I have to roll dice and get a number higher than 6 in order to be successful in this. Um, and if I'm not successful, or if I am successful, it's going to change what happens in the story. So in order to make a will roll, I have to go back to my character sheet. There's that thing. Okay, so my will score is a 1. Not great, but it can happen. So I take that number, and that tells me how many dice I'm going to roll. In order to do that, just so we're all on the same page and everyone can see it, I'm going to turn this into a dice roll on rolls. So the way you do that is you start out with a hashtag or a pound sign, depends on how old you are, and then you follow that with the number of dice you want to roll of a certain kind. And then for this game, we're going to use 6-sided dice, and the way we represent that on rolls is d6. So I tell rolls that I want to roll 1d6, one 6-sided dice. And then I do that. Not a great roll. So it leaves me with a 1. And that's all you have to do. Um, I will post an update to the story based on everyone's roles. Um, I'll give you a deadline for making rolls, and then I'll post an update to the story so we see how it goes. And then, based on what I write, I will give you a chance to decide what your character does, and that'll be a little more free. Um, some things will require rolls, some things won't. You can edit pages on Canvas if I allow you to, and in some cases I will allow you to, just so you can put your own personal spin on how the story is flowing, what your character is doing. Um, Obviously, I rolled a 1, so my character is not going to be doing so great in this encounter. Um, so maybe he just looks flustered and constipated when he's trying to judge this guy. He's not going to be really stealthy about it. So yeah, that's the crux of it. Like I said, I will open up a page once I get everybody's reactions to one story event that continues on the story depending on everybody's role. Um, if there is a space for you to expand on, I will um, put your name in brackets in bold, and then all you have to do is go in and change that text so that it's your description. And you'll just write what your character does in response. Um, so it might be something like, oh, Josh Wood failed at his role. He isn't very successful at his attempted action of trying to gauge this person's motivations. Uh, and then you would go in and describe exactly what that looks like. And that's about it. As we keep going, these roles and these encounters will um, have an impact on the things you learn in the class. That sounds terrible. Uh, Not that you'll learn anything less or more than other people, just they will subtly shift the kind of work you'll be doing in the class. Um, so, for instance, this nighttime rendezvous set piece will result in different people reading different things or getting different assignments or given different prompts to respond to beyond just the story that we're writing. And we'll see what that plays out like. You'll see. The best way that I can teach you to do this is just to have you do it. And we'll be doing that this week. We'll have a lot of fun with it, hopefully. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'm always available. All right. See you guys later.